Girl, let's talk. So, today I want to talk about independent, okay? And why I say independent? Because yesterday I went out. I was intentional yesterday and I went and see You, Me, and Tuscany. And for those of you who don't know about this movie, you should go and see it. It's a really good movie. They have so much lessons to learn in there, but I'm not gonna spoil it. But anyway, let's get back on track. Yeah, I got up and I was say I already saw the movie was coming out Friday, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go Sunday. So yesterday I spent time with my kids, and then I was like, okay, in the afternoon I'm gonna go on a solo date. I got dressed, I did my makeup, my hair is the way it is, I really look cute, I got my little bag, swagging, and I drove myself to the movies. I bought my ticket, I bought some snacks. And at first, when I entered the movie, there was like nobody in the movies, and I was like, "Oh my god, is it me alone watching this movie?" I was like, "Okay, but whatever." So I sat there, and then after a while, people started filling in. Anyway, the movie started, and it was playing. There was some points in the movie that I was like, I felt emotional, and I teared up a little bit. I'm an emotional person on a whole, but it was a good movie on a whole. I can't tell you everything, but what I would say while I was in that movie, it felt good to do something for myself and do something on my own, because I feel like when you become an adult, you depend so much on other people to do things. You do things with your kids, you do things with your spouse, you do things with your friends, and you get so accustomed to doing things with people that you forget what it feels like to do stuff on your own. You forget how to be independent, you know? And yesterday I just felt so good just doing that, you know? And I was like, this is what gaining back my independent feel like. You can have a partner, but still don't forget you. Don't forget what it is to do stuff on your own. Because at the end of the day, you're your individual person, you know? And I feel like a lot of the times when we depend on people to do things or people to make us feel whole, in the end, God forbid, things don't work out with that person, you end up feeling, empty, feeling like you've lost something because you put everything into that person. You always depended on somebody to do something, somebody to make you feel a way. No, start building your own independence and stop depending on people to do things, people to make you happy, people to do to travel, whatever it is, do it for you and do it on your own. And next thing I see too is that a lot of us get in relationships, you know, and our whole identity is lost. We just become everything for that person. Okay, this person, let's say, is a vegan, and all of a sudden we're vegan too. This person likes to run, and all of a sudden we run too. We forget the things that we like just because we want to fill that void. We want to please this person so much so that we can stay in this relationship, we can stay in this friendship. Like we don't have our own identity, and we just like doing everything that this person loves and does. But what do we love? What is it that we want to do? And when the person leaves, it's like you're just an empty shell. And sometimes people see you and they're like, wow, what happened to you? The other you look so good like months ago or last year. Well, what happened to you now? Now you look lost. Don't get me wrong. When you break up with somebody, it is hard, but at the same time, I always tell my friends and my sisters, like when after a breakup, it is very important to take time to yourself. It is important to figure out who you are at that stage of your life, because who you were when you met that person, is different to who you are now. You've learned, you've grown, you evolved. So you need to figure out who this woman is or who this man is at this point in my life. What are things that I love now? What are things that I won't accept? What are boundaries that I'm setting? What are values that I have for myself now? Okay, because every relationship teaches you something and you learn something from that relationship, right? But it's also good to heal, to take time to figure out, because guess what, a lot of us, we don't want to do the work. We don't want to feel alone, you know. We just want somebody to be around. We don't even love our own company. And guess what? We end up jumping into a next relationship, a next situation without healing ourselves, without letting go our past toxic ways from that relationship, or letting go of, whatever that we had to fix in ourselves that other relationship showed us, and we end up carrying it to the new relationship, and sometimes by doing that, sometimes you even choose a partner that's not even a person you would date regularly, but because you're just looking for somebody to love you and looking for love in a wrong place, and because you're lonely, you just end up with somebody that's not right for you, or somebody that's not good for you, so learn to be independent again. Learn to stand up on your own feet without having or without needing people around you for you to go on with life. Okay, at the end of the day, we're all born by ourselves unless you're a twin. Okay, but still, learn to be independent on your own. Learn to do things on your own. You don't always need company to do everything, because once you start relying on people to do things, you will forever rely on people to do things. You will forever wait on people to do things. And when they don't want to do it, you won't do it either. So you're always waiting on them and you're never doing anything. Okay, so that's just something I think you should think about. And if you realize it in yourself, start making small steps. Okay, so if it's like every time you go out you want company, be like, okay, well, you know what, today I'm gonna go to the supermarket by myself, or today I'm just gonna go grab coffee by myself, or today I'm just gonna go on a walk by myself. Just start doing small steps, because trust me, when you start doing things on your own and you start loving your own company, it's the most invigorating and the most beautiful thing you can ever, because guess what, you won't need people to fulfill you. You're happy by yourself and you're fulfilled with yourself. Okay, so I hope you guys are having a beautiful Monday.